KWKH AM Shreveport Bossier.
And the Tigers lead it 23-6.
The home of LSU sports is 1130 The Tiger.
Good afternoon. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Voice of the Demons, right?
Yes.
Touchdown, Demons!
Brined, marinated, or dry rubbed, it's sports the way you like it.
Sports Center Top 10 right there!
Talking to the biggest names, bringing you the best interviews.
He actually smokes his beans.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
The cooler is full, and the brisket is resting.
Just a nice little pull, and it comes right apart. That's perfect.
We eat ribs with this dude.
Here's your master of ceremonies, the Kansas City Barbecue Society certified expert,
Throw the fade, looking for Ferguson. Got it!
Patrick Netherton.
13-yard touchdown. Demons are back in it. Welcome you back. We just started. What the heck? Can we just start over, Raj? Can we just start the whole show over at this point? Oh, we're good. Oh, we're in it now. Well, welcome back to the Patrick Netherton Show. 22 hours after you last left us. So we welcome you back because clearly you were all with us 22 hours ago when we were talking about whatever inanity. You know what's crazy, Raj? My memory is so bad that I tell people jokingly that I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but that's kind of true. Like, I don't remember things that well. I mean, I there's some stats that just get emblazoned in your mind and are seared there, but for the most part, I literally can't remember. Like, I don't remember what we talked about yesterday. I know we had Wes Durham on, but that's about it. Oh, we talked about the Popeyes chicken sandwich, which led to Rogers and I having lunch today in the studio. We'll talk about that in a second. Rogers and Greg, our big boss man Greg, both are trying to get me to have a regular length segment to start the show, but I just don't know if it's going to work. I don't know how I feel about it. There's too much stuff to talk about and things to do and whatnot. But we welcome you into the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. Man, we got a couple of good shows lined up for you today and tomorrow, and then we're off Thursday, Friday, while the Demons of Northwestern State open their season on Thursday night in Martin, Tennessee. Hardy Graham Stadium, Raj. Hardy Graham Stadium is where I'll be coming to you from Thursday night. Again, if you want to listen to that broadcast, you can on our sister station, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel.
All right.
Dang right, Matthew McConaughey. The cool thing is, though, Raj, I'll be back Friday after I make my wild barbecue tour through Alabama, where I'm going to eat barbecue chicken at like 9:45 in the morning.
That's just insane.
I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, Raj.
I guess so.
So I'm going to do that, and then I'll have all day Saturday to actually watch college football. You want to come over, Raj? You want to come over on Saturday? Bring some beer. Maybe I'll come pick you up. You never know.
You know what? Maybe.
I got the 73-inch TV in the living room.
Right.
You know, and I got
have to get away for a little bit.
And the cool thing is the ESPN app has the quad box.
Yeah.
Where you can put 4 games on at the same time. Ooh. And I'll say this, even 4 games on a 73-inch television, you can tell what's going on in each one.
Oh, absolutely. Especially
it's actually
if you know
nice.
what you were doing. Yeah.
So you never, might need to come over. Yeah, might need to come over and watch a little of that, Raj. What, LSU's the 6:30 game?
I think so.
On Saturday. So you might have to come over, Raj. May have to do it. Rogers and I are high on chicken.
You ain't kidding.
I tell you what, I may not have ever been high on any actual substance. Even when I do like surgeries and stuff, I always ask them for the non-narcotic pain meds because I don't like that loopy feeling. And I may not be, I've never smoked anything. I mean, I smoked a cigar and I've smoked a cigarette long time ago. I still will occasionally smoke a cigar if someone has some. Last time was hanging out on Larry the Cable Guy's back patio.
I was going to say, when Larry the Cable Guy hands you a cigar, you fire that puppy up.
Yeah,
bud.
You don't.
I still have the one he gave me from, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever that was?
Actually, the last time I smoked a cigar was with Larry the Cable Guy, but it was in his cigar house.
Yes, with Drew Badoober, right?
No, it was with my friends from high school when we went for the Rush concert.
That's right, for Rush.
Yeah. in Lincoln.
Yeah,
and so we
I
ended
remember
up,
that now.
we ended up going over and he built a house just for his cigars.
That's incredible.
It's got like 7 recliners all against a wall, and it's got like 4 TVs on the other wall, and he's got a bar on one side, and he's got his own humidor. And he built this thing because it gets too cold in Nebraska to smoke outside. So he built this thing so he could still smoke, but he put some sort of high-dollar HVAC system in that thing, and it sucks all the smoke out. And apparently they said you can have 6 people in there smoking a cigar all at the same time, and the smoke, it doesn't affect the air. Like, you'd never know.
Wow.
Because the filtration system works so well.
Well, if you got the scratch.
Hey, yeah. He got it.
He got it.
He got all that.
He got it.
He's got that Cars money to go along with all of his tour money and all that.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Pretty
anyway,
good to be Larry the Cable Guy.
No doubt about that. Get her done, boy.
He's getting her done.
That's, by the way, a former guest on the Patrick Netherton show.
Absolutely.
Just in case you didn't know that. So if you would, I'm just saying, I've never been high, but I'm pretty sure some of the foods that I've eaten have put me in an altered mental state from time to time. And definitely we got after it today. So yesterday we had Greer the engineer in here, and we had the big boss man Greg in here, and we all were debating the Popeyes chicken sandwich. Well, I mentioned, Raj, that if Southern Classic ever came out with a chicken sandwich, it'd be game over.
Yeah.
Like, they would just win. And I kept mentioning Southern Classic so much, I was like, I hadn't had Southern Classic in like 2 or 3 years. Because it's not convenient to my house. Popeyes is right down the street, so I'll go down and get like a 4-piece and of red beans and rice. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go in. I'm going to get some Southern Classics. So Raj had texted me. He had to be here all day. He was recording shows. And he said, hey, can you bring me something? And I'm like, well, what about Southern Classic chicken? Because I know you're not so much on the fried stuff because of your blood pressure and everything.
Yeah, I've had to kind of get off that, but every now and then it's willing to take a little dip in the old fried chicken pool.
So I said, is that all right? And he's like, yeah. I said, all right, boom. So I went and grabbed Southern Classic and brought it in, had a 10-piece mixed, which 2 breasts in there, all for Raj.
Yeah.
I took care of the other 8 pieces, and it was delicious.
It really was. It's got a little hint of spice to it I had forgot about.
Yeah, but the cool thing is
it's not spicy.
Yeah, it's a mild spice at the very end.
Yes.
Like, you eat it, and it tastes great. It's very savory, and then at the very end, there's just that little kick of spice. But it's not overpowering, which is good.
Not at all.
Doesn't make Rogers sweat.
No.
And if Rogers starts sweating, it means your food's too spicy. At least for him, anyway.
Yeah, at least for me.
Not for a normal human.
Yeah, at least for me. Yeah.
But anyway, so we devoured a little 10-piece fried chicken from Southern Classic in here because you know what? It got in my head. And here's the funny thing, Raj. Tomorrow in Memphis, we're probably going to Gus's Fried Chicken.
I thought about that after you. I was like, wait a minute, you're headed to Memphis.
Which, by the way, Gus's Fried Chicken is my favorite chicken anywhere in the world that I've ever had. And I've had Willie Mae's Scotch House down in New Orleans. I've had that. I mean, I've had a lot of great fried chicken. But Gus's, to me, is number 1. Period, end of discussion. I just love it. And so we're going to Gus's, I think. We haven't decided that yet, but I believe we're going to Gus's in Memphis tomorrow night.
Awesome.
And then I'm hitting a barbecue truck in Martin, Tennessee, Raj, on Thursday. It's a kid who looks like he's about 12 years old. I'll show you a picture of him. He is a young-looking dude, but he's got his own food truck, and he's cooking Texas-style barbecue in Martin, Tennessee. And apparently sells out every day, very popular. And actually, he and I just became friends on Facebook, and I'm going to send him a message to be like, look, the game's at 6:30. I don't know if I want to normally, for a barbecue joint, I'd show up at 11, if not a little bit earlier, just in case there's a line. I want to make sure I get everything. They're not going to run out of stuff. But I don't know that I want to show up at 11. You get your food, you eat. It's 12:15, 12:30. Now you're 6 hours before the game. Like, I don't want to go over to the stadium 6 hours early. Like, I don't mind going 4 hours early, especially for game 1. But 6 is a little too much, and I can't imagine there's a lot to do in Martin, Tennessee. Just sightseeing, or hey, let's go to the steel mill. Like, what? I don't know what they have in Martin, Tennessee. I guess I gotta look up the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, maybe tell the people why you're going there to start with.
Well, the Demons are playing UT
there
Martin.
We go. And who are you?
Who am I? That's a really deep
in relation
question.
to the Demons. Who are you?
That's a really deep question, Raj.
Well, let's start with who are you in relation to the Northwestern State University Demons?
Are you playing the who?
Who?
Isn't that who?
Who?
Isn't that who did Who Are You?
Who? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Not the Guess Who.
No.
Just Who.
Exactly.
You are the voice of the Northwestern State University
correct.
Demons. That's why our buddy Patrick Netherton will be out of town. He is headed with the football team for the very first kickoff opening game for the Demons, baby.
That's right.
It is here.
And I'm looking at the Demon right across from me as we speak.
Turned 70
Gene
over
Simmons.
the weekend. Him and Paul walking around New York with their wigs on.
That's so hilarious.
And Paul had on a fanny pack.
Anywho, so and then Raj, Friday I'm making a whole barbecue trek through Alabama.
It's unbelievable what you're doing.
I'm gonna be full by the time I get back home. You might have to bring your own snacks.
You know what? I'll stop and pick me up a little pizza or something and bring it to your house.
It may have to, I might eat in time for the LSU game on Saturday. That might be when I actually start eating. But man, I'm excited. The Demons are getting ready to kick off. I'm fired up about that. I'm fired up to make a road trip. I'm fired up to get some Gus's fried chicken. It's a lot of stuff to be fired up about, Raj. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
And with all good reason, man. All good reason. But this is the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. That guy over there is Rogers Hampton. I'm Patrick Netherton. Multiple ways that you can get in touch with the show. You can watch us on Facebook Live. Hey, our Facebook Live numbers have started going up nicely. We're getting better viewer numbers. And again, if you are on Facebook and you go to Facebook, Facebook.com/Netherton Show, you can see Hambone waving at you. This time it's not just his hand. Is your face actually in there? Your little face? There you go. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. What a handsome man. Anyway, you can get on it. If you do, by the way, jump onto Facebook, please like the page, follow the page, whatever, and tell your friends. If you want to share it, there's a share button. You can go share the page with your friends and everything. Wouldn't mind the extra publicity. We'd appreciate it. As always, we're looking for sponsors. If you want to sponsor the guest line, in which case when I talk to Peter Burns in about 45 minutes from the SEC Network, I can talk about how Peter Burns, brought to you by Hampton Unlimited on the Hampton Unlimited guest line. Or tomorrow, Raj, Jerry DiNardo. Former LSU Tiger head coach, now one of the analysts for the Big Ten Network. He's going to join the show.
He helped to bring the magic back.
He did. And helped to bring the magic at all to the Big Ten Network.
Yeah.
He was one of their first hires.
Yeah.
And is doing a great job. If you watch the Big Ten Network, you can't help but see him. And I'm really excited to talk to him. He's such an affable guy. I like him because most football coaches kind of just think in football terms, but DiNardo is a guy that, remember, he had a restaurant in Baton Rouge at one point. He's always been a guy that's had other interests outside of just football. So I'm really interested to talk to him tomorrow. That'll be at 4:00 on tomorrow's show. Peter Burns from the SEC Network today. So we'll be giving you an ACC preview, an SEC preview, and a Big Ten preview. And then tomorrow we've got to do our picks because I'll be out Thursday, Friday. It's going to be Patrick's picks with Hambone's hints. Does that sound all right? Is that good? I kind of was playing with the name a little bit. I figured Hambone might give you some advice from a veteran better like Hambone who I'm pretty sure doesn't know how to find the lines at this point. That's my favorite part. I'm going to have to teach Hambone. Okay, here's how you find the lines, Hambone.
I like the lines running up the back of the stocking.
That's
what
right.
I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I understand what you're talking about. But anyway, so we're feeling fat and happy, full of Southern Classic chicken. We're feeling good about
there's
ourselves.
light at the end of my tunnel.
Yeah, it's not a train this time.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So today's show, Peter Burns from the SEC Network will join us. We'll discuss Cowboys and Saints. We'll talk college football, all of that. But the Facebook page, facebook.com/Netherton Show, log on there. Tell your friends, share the page, tell everyone you know, recommend it, whatever. Let folks know that the best in guests that you'll find anywhere in this market is right here on the Patrick Netherton Show from 3 to 5 on 1130 The Tiger. And again, if you want to advertise with us, you want to be a sponsor on the show, help us get your name out, certainly can do that. Shoot us a text at 318-6570-HAM, 318-657-0426, or message the Netherton Show page. Send me a DM on Twitter. Do all of that. We can. However you get in touch with me, I will make sure that the proper authorities are notified, and that's Tim Jong-un, aka the Dear Leader, He handles all of that. So we'll get all the info to Dear Leader, and he'll take care of it for us. So if you want to be a sponsor on the show. All right, so Facebook Live, Twitter. That guy over there is at Hey Boy Rogers. I am at PT Netherton. Show page is at Netherton Show. And if you don't know how to spell Netherton, Netherton. Very easy. Download the app. App's always a great way to get in touch with the show. It's a fantastic approach. Gets you the HD audio. I was listening to y'all this morning in the 9 o'clock hour, hanging out in my bed, in my drawers. I know. It's funny, the last text I have, Rogers, is someone saying the thought of you being naked, because talking about reverse stripping yesterday. The thought of you being naked made me throw up in my mouth a little bit. I was like, well, me too. I do the same thing. I take showers in my swimsuit because I don't want to see myself naked. Nobody wants to see that, least of all me. What else we got, Raj? Let's see. Twitter, Facebook, app. Oh, we got to introduce that guy.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, and in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkinland.
Hey, boy! Hey, boy.
What's up, man?
Yeah, it seems like my butt has been in this chair for an awful long time today.
You have basically been here all day, my friend.
Yes, in this room, in this chair.
Yeah.
What's happening, hot stuff?
Man.
That's okay. It's been all good. I got to see wonderful people throughout the day, and that makes it all worth it.
Well, that's what you want, man.
Yep. Anytime you get the time to spend with Bob Griffin, like we did last week on the Northwestern State Luncheon, yeah, anytime I get to spend time with old Bob Griffin, the legend, it's a good day.
It is a good day. There's no doubt about that. And Griffin is the legend.
Yep.
There's also no doubt about that. And when the legend says, Patrick, come in and do an interview with me, you go, how high?
When?
Oh, wait, no, that's jump.
Yeah. But it's still when, where, and what time.
And do I need to wear anything?
Yeah.
Like, should I wear a tie?
Yeah.
Is it a formal occasion?
Yeah.
You know.
Just TV only.
It's Griffin for you. You gotta make sure that you're
Mad
appropriately dressed, appropriately decked out, whatever you need to do.
Absolutely.
So I got to be on the Bob Griffin radio show. Was it this past Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
Sunday before. It was GeekCon Sunday.
That's right, GeekCon Sunday.
Yeah.
You were the guest on the Bob Griffin Show.
There you go.
Heard on our sister station 710 Kill every Sunday morning at 5:30, and on numerous East Texas stations throughout the area.
There you go. Anyway, so today we've got a good show lined up for you. Peter Burns will join us. By the way, I just want to remind everyone, since football season is basically upon us now, Raj, I don't know if you noticed or not, but we did have 9 of the 11 Division I football coaches in the state of Louisiana on the show. Matter of fact, I was going to offer Tony T, since Talking Tiger football is tomorrow, I was going to offer Tony T, if he wanted to use my interview with Chad Lunsford from Georgia Southern, he could. He was welcome to.
Yeah.
If he wants it. Because we broke it all down. I mean, we had it, and the good news is, even though Shai Wertz the quarterback went through the whole cocaine thing, we interviewed the coach right before the whole cocaine thing went down. But Shai Wertz is back, so the interview still holds.
Yes.
But all of the interviews with all of the Division I football coaches are on our Facebook page. I've got it pinned to the top of the page, and I'll leave it there until the weekend. I'll leave it pinned, and it's got the YouTube links for every single one. Brad Laird from Northwestern, Tim Rebo from Nichols, Matt Viator from ULM, Skip Holtz from Louisiana Tech. All of the Division I coaches in the state, Willie Fritz from Tulane, you name it. Dawson Odoms from Southern. I've got them all on there, and all the YouTube links there. So if you go to the Facebook page, you go to the Netherton Show page, the first post you see will be links to the various interviews. So if you want to catch up, hey, I saw, Southern and McNeese are playing. I might watch that game. It's going to be a fun game. I might watch that game. Sterling Gilbert making his debut. Well, hey, there's the link to the Sterling Gilbert interview. Oh, and Dawson Odoms at Southern, they're picked preseason to win the thing. Oh, there's his interview. They're all there. You want to know what ULM's going to look like? Check out the clip with Matt Viator. Check out the interview. I'm just saying, if you want to know all about this, I previewed every single team in the state of Louisiana, except ULL. Unfortunately, we didn't get Billy Napier. And we're going to get Coach O during Northwestern State Week. I'm pretty confident about that. Speaking of, I need to send an email about that as well. Also, Raj, we have a soft confirm. Are you ready for this? 2 soft confirms with weeks that will have them. Not dates, but the week that will have them. Dana Holgerson at Houston.
Oh.
We're going to have him, I believe, the second week of September. Dana Holgerson of Houston. And Raj, Chad Morris of Arkansas. Going to have him towards the end of September. Middle end of September. So Chad Morris from Arkansas. Good. I'm fired up to have him on. I hope at that point they'll have won a few games. I hope they won't be 0-for. That'll be awkward. But Chad Morris from Arkansas will join us, and we're going to have Dana Holgerson from Houston. They have both given us soft confirms, so we're looking good for both of those guys. I'm fired up, man. When you get those kind of coaches, and you know Ed Orgeron's going to be on at some point, probably the Northwestern State Week, fired up about this, Hambone. I really am. I like it. We're getting the area coaches, man. These guys come in and recruit. One of the best wide receivers at Houston is a local product. Arkansas always comes in and gets guys from here. So I try to get these area coaches on, the Arkansas, the Houstons, those kind of guys. I try to have them on and let them be a part of the show and let everyone hear from them. So I don't know anybody else is doing that. Competition doing that, Raj? They got Chad Morris on or Dana Holgerson on?
They might have Morris Chad on.
We're talking to Morris Chad right now. Oh, wait, you're not the Arkansas coach?
Oh, wait.
Whoops.
Strike that.
Whoopsie.
Reverse it.
Put the thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
There you go.
Missy Elliott. She was on the VMAs last night.
Really?
She performed on the VMAs, yeah.
Ah.
And apparently the girl who was in the original Work It video, she was like 8 or 9 at the time. I don't know that I've seen the video. She came back out as an adult and did the dance again. So everyone was freaking out about that. And then John Travolta, Raj, you'll love this. Taylor Swift won an award. Remember John Travolta was the guy who introduced Idina Menzel as Adele Dazeem?
Oh, yeah.
From Frozen?
Yeah.
Idina Menzel, who played Elsa? Is that right? Anna and Elsa? I think it's Elsa. Anyway, so her name is Idina Menzel. She's a very famous opera singer, Broadway singer, that kind of thing. She did the voice for Elsa. And John Travolta introduced her thusly. And now the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem. Not even close to Idina Menzel. Adele Dazeem. And so poor Idina Menzel has to come up there. Well, last night, Raj, I didn't watch any of this. I just saw it on social media. Last night, Raj, he's now presenting another award at the VMA. Exactly. Why is this guy still presenting awards? And I guess Taylor Swift won the award. And a whole bunch of Taylor Swift drag queens went on stage. I don't know if there's a bunch of them. At least one of them was up there. It's a drag queen who looks like Taylor Swift. And John Travolta gave that person the VMA while Taylor Swift was still in the crowd, like hugging people on her way up. He gave the VMA award, not realizing that it wasn't actually Taylor Swift. It was a dude in drag pretending to be Taylor Swift. It's a great moment. It's a great moment in history.
Poor Barbarino.
I know. Poor Travolta. He's just lost it. Too many years in Scientology will get you.
When?
Anyway, Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter.
So that was a little fun pop moment from last night.
That's funny.
All right, let's take a break. We'll get out a little early today, Raj. It's not at 27 or 28. It's 23.
Oh, it's way early.
Super early for us.
So we got a good September coming up, huh?
We do, man. We got a great September. Got Dana Holgerson coming up. We got Chad Morris, Dana Holgerson from Houston, Chad Morris from Arkansas. Maybe one of them will actually be on the 21st of September. You never know. We'll see. It's the Patrick Netherton Show. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Locally owned and operated, Chevyland has just a cornucopia of 2019 Chevy Silverados and Silverado 2500 HDs up to 10% off through GM Financial or 0% financing with $1,500 off on all crew cabs. Slide on in to a brand new Silverado. At Chevyland, we care about you.
O'Reilly. This is Sarah's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
Driving cross country with 2 young children is ambitious, to say the least. Then our check engine light came on. We pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts and they tested it. Turned out it was a faulty sensor. They referred us to a great mechanic just down the street and we were back on the road in no time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I promise that you'll never find another like me.
With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn 4% cash back on dining and entertainment. That's 4% cash back on milkshakes with extra whipped cream. And 4% to get extra loud at the show. The Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% on dining and 4% on entertainment. What's in your wallet?
Hey guys, it's Taylor. You can buy my new album Lover at taylorswift.com.
Terms apply. Capital One Bank, USA, N.A.
Tuesdays are the worst. They're all that stands between you and the downhill part of the week. But now they're a lot less worse, because Wing Tuesdays at B-Dubs are buy one, get one free traditional wings. So Monday, you may kick off the week. Wednesday, you may have a cool nickname. Thursday, you might be the almost weekend. But watch your back, because Tuesdays just officially became Wing Tuesdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one traditional wings order and get one of equal value free. Participation and promotional details vary by location. Check in with your favorite Buffalo Wild Wings to learn more about this offer.
You may not notice it's a protein bar. Dark chocolate and crunchy peanuts will do that. Plus, they'll get your family moving again.
Don't stop moving. Don't stop moving.
Nature Valley Peanut Butter Dark Chocolate Protein Bars.
Starting route now. Turn right at Fortress Mountain. Turn left at Mount Hood. Head south to Moab, Utah. Continue on the Great North American Test Drive.
Run with us on a John Deere Gator XUV 835 with our quietest cab ever and optional heat and AC and a four-wheel independent suspension. It's built to run where no one else can. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Gator for more.
Do you hear that Coors Light being poured? It's the perfect temperature. How can I tell just based on the sound? I can't. But I can see that the mountain on the can is blue. And when the mountain is blue, your Coors Light is perfectly cold. Coors Light is cold lagered for a crisper taste, cold filtered for brightness and clarity, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. Doesn't that sound good? 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
At Westin Hotels and Resorts, our entire reason for being is your well-being, which is why our wellness offerings are curated with one thing in mind: you. An Eat Well menu crafted with fresh ingredients, an on-demand fitness gear lending program that allows you to pack light and stay fit, and our heavenly bed that helps you conquer the day by giving you a restful night. All of it just for you, so you can rise. Explore at Westin.com, a member of Marriott Bonvoy.
I was a pack-a-day smoker for 33 years. You could see the look in their eye, like they recognized the smell on you, and you just die a little inside because you knew you offended someone. Since I switched to Juul, I don't even think twice about it. It's like a weight lifted off of you.
Stacy made the switch in 2016. To make the switch, visit JUUL.com. Juul Labs compensated this individual for their time and expenses in providing this testimonial. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Bill, Susan, you guys look amazing. What's the secret? Our new Sleep Number 360 smart bed. He chooses the comfort on his side. I choose mine. We feel great. Can it help keep you asleep? Yes, it senses our movements and adjusts to keep us both comfortable all night. I don't think it's a secret anymore.
It's the biggest sale of the year. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus special financing, only for a limited time. To find your local Sleep Number store, go to sleepnumber.com. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
If it's LSU sports, it's on 11:30 The Tiger.
Let's get to the meat of the matter with producer Rogers Hampton.
Hey, boy!
Here's your master of ceremonies, Patrick Netherton.
Would have been the right place. Would have been the wrong time. Who is this? Oh, this is Dr. John that died not too long ago, right? From down in New Orleans? Yeah.
I've been in the right place.
It's Patrick Netherton Show. I told you the number of times I've been at the right place, but it was the wrong time. Whew. Story of my life. Or I'm there at the right time, but it's the wrong place. I never am there at the right time with the right place. We welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. He's Rogers Hampton. I'm Patrick Netherton. We encourage you to give us a call at 318-320-1130, 318-320-1130, or you can text us at 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. Cody texted in, and, Raj, this is interesting. Cody says Andrew Luck is coming to New Orleans 1 or 2 years. I would be incredibly surprised if that went down. I think if any quarterback moves between Indianapolis and New Orleans, I think it might be Teddy Bridgewater going from New Orleans to Indianapolis before I could see Andrew Luck. Here's the other thing, Raj. And this is something I probably should know, but just have never gotten into the vagaries of it. Do you lose when you retire? Does the team that had your rights no longer have your rights? Or like if you unretire, are you just a free agent at that point? Right, I'm just thinking like everyone could retire and Cody said New Orleans rebirths once injured QBs. Yeah, but Drew Brees didn't retire. Drew Brees just was hurt. He still wanted to play. I'm gonna do a quick Google search for that real quick, Raj. NFL retirement rules. Let's try that out and see what happens. Be interested to find out if they can get back who still has their rights, if anyone has their. By the way, speaking of retirement, Raj, did you see who came back? I believe Percy Harvin came back. Somebody just came back. Let me find out who it was. Oh, and did you see that your boy Jadeveon might be heading to the Dolphins? Very interesting. Let's see. I saw the story. It might not have been. I thought it was Percy Harvin, but may have been somebody else that they were talking about. Just some news and notes from the NFL. Cam apparently, no doubt, the starter in the opener. Says the gambler, Ron Rivera. You have Gronkowski now, Raj. In the most shocking news of all, Gronkowski is now involved in the CBD oil business. Well, who'd have thunk that? Can't believe that actually happened. And, Raj, your favorite, Tiger Woods. Surgery on the knee. Had a little arthroscopic surgery, had to clean some stuff out. I do think it's interesting, though, to talk about Andrew Luck in terms of would he come back? Do you think there's a chance a year or two down the road he feels healthy and he wants to come back? I perhaps. Sorry, I'm looking up NFL retirement, and I'll have to figure that out maybe during the break. Peter Burns joins us at the top of the hour. If I told you that Andrew Luck came back in a year, would you be surprised? I think that's an interesting question to ponder. If he just decided, you know what, feeling better, took a whole year off, rehabbed everything got to heal. Because ultimately, that's the real issue with NFL players, is not that they get injured. I mean, they have access to the best rehab facilities, the best medical personnel, all of that. It's just that they can never stop going. Right? They never just sit on the couch. Even when you're sitting there and I got like Sheldon Rankins. Sheldon Rankins knows he has 8 months to a year to rehab his Achilles, but it's not like he just goes home and sits down and just rests. No, he's out there. He's doing upper body workouts. He's doing pool workouts. He's doing all kind of stuff. So it doesn't like even when you're quote unquote rehabbing, you're never giving your body time off to really recover. You know who really recovers well, Raj? Me. Because I spend a lot of time not doing things. Sitting on the couch, sitting in my chair. Also, why is it not sitting on your chair? Why is it always sitting in your chair? But it's sitting on the couch. You don't say you sit in the couch. You say you sit on the couch. But you don't say you sit on your chair. You say you sit in your chair. Just a weird vagary of language. All right. Appreciate that, 318. Yeah, if you retire from the NFL, but you still are under contract, if you unretire, you go back to that team. But if your contract expires, then you're a free agent at that point, which makes sense. I just would. You know what? I don't think I'd be that surprised if Andrew Luck came back, if he gave it another go. But that being said, this is a guy who does have a lot of outside interests. It's a guy that doesn't necessarily want to be obsessed with football and the NFL. He's a guy who is, definitely has other intellectual pursuits that I know he'd like to go after. Draco said he doesn't think Luck comes back. Double J says his dad's the commissioner of the XFL, so he's going to be the Tampa Bay Vipers' new head coach. He's going to slither and strike and I don't know, whatever else the crazy XFL things were. Cody said he lost a ton of guaranteed money, but I'm pretty sure his rights are his rights at that point. Again, it's after the contract's up. He actually didn't lose a ton. They're giving him all of his guaranteed money, or what he's currently owed. They're not asking for it back. So all of his guaranteed money is he's still getting. He's not having to give that back. The Colts are not asking him to give that back. And I think more than anything, Raj, to me that shows you just the kind of player and person that the Colts know that Andrew Luck is. So whether the fans are booing or not, whether idiotic sports talk radio hosts are spouting off with idiotic takes, regardless, the team let him keep his money. You know what? If that guy was a jackass, if that guy was a bad person, if that guy was not a good teammate, I guarantee you the Colts would come after their money. They'd say, you know what, we want you to repay back the portion of the bonus that you're not, the guaranteed money, the bonus that you're owed us. You're not going to, if you're a bad guy, they're going to come after that money. They're not going to let you keep it. Draco says they're letting him keep $24 million that they could get back. Exactly. That's what we're talking about. If he's a bad dude and a bad teammate, then I'm pretty sure they would be asking for their money. But they're not, because he's been a beloved teammate. He's been a beloved member of the community. He was tough as nails. The dude literally played through a lacerated kidney at one point.
But,
what if they're letting him keep the money as hush money because they handled his injuries wrong?
Well, and that's an interesting point. That's a very interesting point, because look, we're still in the age, even today, when we are more aware of everything going on. We're so concerned with concussions, but at the same time, an ankle injury or a calf injury, it's like, well, hey, if you're, you need to be out on the field, you need to be playing. How many times do you hear coaches talking about, oh, well, you're not making the club from the sidelines, you're not making the club from rehab, you need to be out there. And so ultimately that's one of the interesting things is, does the club have some culpability here in that they maybe tried to rush him back? The coaches were saying, hey, we need this guy back. Because even, we're not seeing enough yet new school coaches. Everyone's old school coaches with the, oh, you ain't hurt, put some dirt on it, get back out here.
Well, apparently a little bit of that might have been going on at Penn State. Did you see that story?
I did not.
An old trainer or somebody in the program is accusing James Franklin of pushing players back before they were ready to get back on.
And that's what we're getting. And until such a time, and it's more prevalent in the NFL because there are independent doctors that come in, especially with the concussion protocol. They have independent neurologists who do all that. But they don't have that for knee injuries. They don't have that for calf injuries. And so what you have is you have team doctors employed by the team, trainers employed by the team. And I'm not here to impugn anyone's integrity, but don't think that the coaches aren't in their ear like, hey, we need this guy back. Is he ready? Is he ready? Is he ready? They're like little kids in the back seat. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Is he ready? Is he ready? Can he get back on the field? Is he ready? And half the time, the trainers may not think he is, but the player 9 times out of 10 is going to be like, I'm ready. Players have that mentality for the most part. The good ones especially are like, I'm going to go play no matter what. I'm in. Let's go. And yet, you're doing them a disservice if you're not allowing them to actually heal. And you hear coaches talk a lot about the difference between being hurt and being injured, right? Hurt means you got a bruise, you got a whatever, you can play with it. Injured means you got a torn ACL, you got something that medically has to be tended to. But coaches still have that old school mentality of you need to be on the field. This guy needs to be out there. And as long as they continue to have that old school mentality, you're going to get guys that are coming back, guys that are going to be rushed back before they're ready. And the players aren't going to be the ones that stop you. The players are never going to say, oh, well, no, I'm not ready. They're not going to say that. The players are always going to be like, if I'm on the field, Ronnie Lott had a finger chopped off and still played, one of the Nitschke or someone played with a broken arm or a broken shoulder. I mean, these guys are not, the mentality they have is not to walk away like Andrew Luck did. The mentality these guys have is no matter what, I'm on the field. The doctor is physically going to have to prevent me from being on the field. Like, I guarantee you, if they told Sheldon Rankins right now, you're good, go play, he'd be on the field, even though he's not close to being ready to play. Because that's the mentality that players have, and it's the mentality that coaches have. And so until such time as we get a more independent medical staff for all of these teams, you're going to have the coaches leaning on the medical staff to clear these guys before they're ready. That's the nature of the beast. It's been that way forever, and it'll continue to be that way, probably for the foreseeable future. Now, they've done something about it with concussions. They've taken the concussion issue and turned it around. They've got independent neurologists who come in and deal with that. They have not handled that so well in other aspects of injury. You're still seeing guys who get rushed back from knee injuries, foot injuries, arm injuries, you name it, guys who probably shouldn't be playing but are back out there because they're not going to say no. And the guys who are supposed to be the adults in the room, the training staff, the doctors, are being pressured by the coaches to get those guys back out there. Couple of texts. Hi, Rail. Again, the text line is 318-657-0-HAM, 318-657-0426. He said it's the Colts' fault he's injured, no O-line. Yeah, they certainly never, certainly the truth. T-Gage said it's because the Colts know it's their fault his body is breaking down. Why they gave him the money, just like Rogers was saying. The Colts never provided him any protection when what did they think was going to happen eventually? Yeah, no doubt about it. And Cody says...
Well, they finally did for last year, went out and got those offensive linemen that year before he was hurt. So they were making...
And he had a big year last year.
Oh, big year. It was comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
So, no, they had saw what they had done wrong and not having an offensive line, and they had rectified that, had a really good offensive line last year. He was comeback player of the year. So they were headed that way.
They were working on it.
So that's what makes me, if they're taking care of that kind of business, that's what kind of makes me worry about how they took care of him physically.
Yeah. Cody said said Luck is obligated to return to the team if he returns before his contract is up. It's 2021 when his contract is up. Cody said maybe Dallas can franchise tag Zeke and then he can come to Jerry's World in 2021. I said, sorry, meant to franchise tag Dak, not Zeke. So franchise Dak until Luck comes back, and then you can go get him when he's 31. And by the way,
and that'll coincide with Drew Brees retiring and Sean Payton becoming the
Cowboys head coach.
Yes,
right.
like all the fans want.
By the way, it's not Jerry's World; it's Jonestown. I tell everyone, not Jerry's World, Jonestown, because everyone in there drinks the Kool-Aid, and it's where Super Bowl hopes go to die. All the Super Bowl hopes for Dallas just keep drinking that Kool-Aid every year at Jonestown, and they just keep dying. And as always, Raj, you know why we can't tell jokes about Jim Jones and his cult, right? Are you ready? You getting it ready? The punchline's too long, Raj. Punchline is too long. Too long.
Kind of like the line at Popeyes these days for that chicken sandwich. Just too damn long.
Southern Classic had a nice line, too.
Yeah, they usually do.
Yeah,
they usually do.
And Chick-fil-A, as always.
Always wrapped
every
around.
line is 20 deep. Let's take a break. Peter Burns joining us at the top of the hour. We'll discuss a little SEC football with him. Oh, there you go. Boo-doo-doo. Wonder who's crying now, Raj. I'm so glad I got to see them in concert, even though it wasn't with Steve. It was with what's his face, Arnel Pineda. He was really good though. He was very good. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Why something good can hurt so bad?
One of the cool guys I know, Rogers Hampton Jr. here. How cool do you like your house to be?
Hey, man, I like it to be my high school football number, 34 degrees.
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
I don't know. What do those mean?
I don't know either. We're going to the metric system soon. Book it.
I know who we can call to find out.
AccuTemp, 861-2255, 861-2255.
At Indeed, we believe a resume is a great way to see an overview of a candidate. But you're not hiring a resume, you're hiring a person. That's why Indeed offers tools that help bridge the gap between a candidate and the resume. Like skill tests, which let you actually see a candidate's abilities in action to make sure they're a good fit for the job. See beyond the resume with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's you, Jamie. Don't hang up. You need to hear this. You gotta quit wearing that aviator jacket. Nobody's buying it. I'm sorry you have to hear it from me, but at Progressive, we're all about giving it to people straight. That's why we show our rates alongside our competitors' rates. And when you're helping people find great rates, you don't need some jacket to look cool. Just keep rocking that scarf.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparisons not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
O'Reilly.
This is Sarah's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
Driving cross country with 2 young children is ambitious, to say the least. Then our check engine light came on. We pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts and they tested it. Turned out it was a faulty sensor. They referred us to a great mechanic just down the street and we were back on the road in no time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Using an overpriced trash bag?
Pricey, pricey, pricey!
A bag that breaks?
Whippy, whippy, whippy!
Or a smelly bag?
Stinky, stinky, stinky!
Time to switch to hefty, ultra-strong trash bags, always at an ultra-low price.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
They're our best bags yet, and they cost less than Glad Force Flex, where sold head-to-head, so you'll be...
Happy, happy, happy!
Hefty Ultra-Strong with Arm & Hammer odor control. Also available in heavy-duty black bags.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Miller Lite is the light beer brewed for all football fans. Every face-painting, spicy chili cooking, cheering until the last down one of you. Because when it comes to your team and your beer, you never compromise. That's why we brew Miller Lite with great taste and only 96 calories. Miller Lite. Hold true. Celebrate responsibly. 2018 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Average analysis, 12 fluid ounces, 96 calories, 3.2 grams carbs, less than 1 gram protein, and 0 grams fat.
Tuesdays are the worst. They're all that stands between you and the downhill part of the week. But now they're a lot less worse, because Wing Tuesdays at B-Dubs are buy one, get one free traditional wings. So Monday, you may kick off the week. Wednesday, you may have a cool nickname. Thursday, you might be the almost weekend. But watch your back, because Tuesdays just officially became Wing Tuesdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Buy one traditional wings order and get one of equal value free. Participation and promotional details vary by location. Check in with your favorite Buffalo Wild Wings to learn more about this offer.
11:30 The Tiger, your home for LSU sports,
Powered by Jack Spring Electric.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing.
I don't have any cravings.
You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no cravings.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Only $49.99 guaranteed. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking now, once and for all. In addition, lose all the weight you want, 100% guaranteed, with Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Destroy unwanted cravings, late-day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Join the over 500,000 others who have attended and lost weight the Mark Patrick way. That's right. Seminar Sunday, September 22nd at the Shreveport Wyndham Garden Hotel. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 to 4 p.m. And Monday, September 23rd at the Marshall Lyons Community Center. Weight loss seminar 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 to 10 p.m. More info at markpatrickseminars.com.
Where Shreveport and Bossier come for LSU Sports, 1130 The Tiger.
Floating through the airwaves like smooth hickory smoke, Patrick Netherton.
Welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. We appreciate you joining us. Down around San Antone, everybody. Sleepy little town down around San Antone. What town is he talking about, by the way? I mean, I know San Antone. I wonder what sleepy little town he's talking about. Yeah, down around that area. T-Gate says if Andrew Luck retires with 2 years left on his contract, whenever he comes back, he still has 2 years left on a contract. That doesn't make sense. I mean, at that point, don't you forfeit the contract? That's the problem. I don't think anybody really knows what happens if you try to come back from retirement. That's the issue. Because I don't think anybody really knows what goes on. So, I don't know. Anyway, they didn't make Andrew Luck send his money back. So, that happened. So at least he's not having to, they're not making him pay his money back that he's guaranteed. But at that point, I don't know what, I don't know. Apparently the retirement means that you're gone. I don't know. I mean, we haven't had a whole lot of people retire and then unretire. It's not like it's something new. Now, again, I'm not necessarily on the I think Andrew Luck is going to unretire bandwagon. I think he might get to feeling better and he might think about it, but at the same time, I think he knows, he's one of the most oft injured QBs. He gets hit a lot. Even when he has a good offensive line, he still gets hit a lot because he'll hold on to the ball. He'll try to make sure he's making the play. Sometimes he'll get out and run around a little bit. So he's going to take licks. And usually he still ticks, Raj. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Hope you appreciated that. Yeah. Hey, at least I waited until almost the second hour to drop a terrible pun on you this time. I didn't do it 6 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
So you're welcome for that. Nevertheless, there is a lot of stuff going on, and I don't know. Look, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's the guy, who's not the guy. I don't know all the contract vagaries, all of that stuff. All I know is Andrew Luck is a guy that certainly has plenty of money in the bank. He still gets to keep the money that he did have. So I'd be surprised, honestly, if he comes back. I really would. I'd be surprised if he decided that was the best thing for him is to go ahead and come back. I just don't think he's going to do it. I think he's going to stay where he's at. He'll probably find some intellectual pursuits to go be a part of. And you know what? Good for him. Because ultimately it's his body, it's his right. He knows the consequences if he retires. He knows that the team could ask him for money back. Obviously they haven't, which is good for him. And again, I think it speaks to just who that guy was in relation to all of that. I mean, the dude's made a ton of money. He doesn't need it. The Greek says Gruny, Texas, Raj? Is that where that is? The little sleepy little town outside of San Antonio. Do they actually mention the name of the town in the song?
I don't think so.
I don't think they do either.
Yeah.
There's a sleepy little town
unless it's called China Grove.
No, I guess so.
Unless the town is China Grove.
Actually, I think there is a China Grove, Texas, Raj.
I think that's what he's talking about. Whoa, China Grove.
Yeah, now that makes sense. I think there's a China Grove, Texas.
Yeah, I think there is. Like there's a LaGrange, Texas for ZZ Top.
Yeah, there it is, China Grove. 1,100
Texas.
1,100 people.
Well, that's definitely a sleepy little town.
Sleepy little town.
Yep.
Down around San Antonio. It's located on the far east side of San Antonio, Raj.
Well, I'm telling you what,
You learn something new every day, Raj.
I am telling you what.
That's what we do around here. We're teaching folks something new every single day.
Oh, man, I think we need to teach Peter Burns that.
We probably
when we get
should.
him on, ask him what's the sleepy little town down around San Antonio.
No, he is a San Antonio guy. He went and played at UTSA.
I don't know why I said that.
Let's see. 318 number says, what I recall is when Barry Sanders retired, he thought of coming back, but the Lions still held his right, so he decided not to come back. I think the same would be for Andrew Luck. The Colts would still have his right. See, that's the problem. It's so rare that it happens that none of us have any idea what it actually is and what would happen if he did come back. Hyrel said, how many years did Luck play? What did he end up with, 7 or 8? Something like that. He's 29, so if he came out 21, 22, that'd be 7 or 8 years, something like that. And then, of course, he missed a year, and Brissett had a whole, there was a whole thing. The Greek said Luck got married this weekend. Retirement was in the prenup. Now, that would be pretty funny. If she's like, I'm not sharing you with the NFL. That's right. 3 snaps in Z formation. All right, let's take a break. Peter Burns from the SEC Network. Draco says most of these sleepy little towns discovered meth and ain't sleepy no more. Huh? Yeah, but they don't have teeth anymore either. It's the Patrick Netherton Show, 11:30 The Tiger. Peter Burns next.
You have to be up in 5 hours. 2 hours. 6 minutes, and you haven't slept a wink. ZzzQuil Pure Z's is a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake with no next-day grogginess. So tonight, try new ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil.
Get what you want from Target today with same-day delivery. We bring it to your front door so you can do more of what you love. Want more nap time? We'll bring the diapers and wipes. Want more greatness for your game night? We'll bring the snacks and the cards. Want more time around the table? We'll bring that missing ingredient. And maybe some dessert too. You order, we shop, you keep doing your thing. Try Target same-day delivery. Shopped by Shipt. Restrictions may apply.
Hi, I'm Brad Gosley, owner and president of Coldwell Banker Gosley, with your Housing Moment. Northwest Louisiana is one of the most affordable housing markets in the nation. You can get a lot of home for under $200,000, so it's no surprise that these homes are in demand. 1,400 homes have already sold in this price range in 2019, and there are currently about 1,100 to choose from. Want to know what's happening in 25 different communities in Caddo, Bossier, and DeSoto parishes? Click on the crawfish at cbgosley.com. That's cbgosslee.com.
Office independently owned and operated.
Do you hear that Coors Light being poured? It's the perfect temperature. How can I tell just based on the sound? I can't. But I can see that the mountain on the can is blue. And when the mountain is blue, your Coors Light is perfectly cold. Coors Light is cold lagered for a crisper taste, cold filtered for brightness and clarity, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. Doesn't that sound good? 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, you wouldn't spend more to get the exact same thing, would you? No.
So when I tell you that Straight Talk Wireless runs on the same cell towers as the big guys but charges up to half the cost, you see where I'm going with this, right? Get America's best 4G LTE networks for less. The unlimited plan is just $45 a month with 25 gigs at high speeds, then 2G. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
Savings may vary. See straighttalk.com.
It takes both vision and skill to create a pool as unique as it is beautiful. A perfect blend of time-honored craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology. The hand, heart, and mind working in perfect sync to create something truly special. A source of timeless relaxation, priceless memories, and endless joy. That is the mission of a master pool builder, and that is the magic of Moorhead Pools.
Is it time to redo your back patio? Or what about finally getting to those little projects finished around your home? Call H2 Home Renovations. Check out some of their work online at h2homerenovations.com. They'll have your home looking its best in no time. Give them a call and ask them about financing your home renovation needs too. Find them online at h2homerenovations.com. H2 Home Renovations. Reimagine your home.
KWKH, Shreveport, Bossier City. 1130 The Tiger, Shreveport and Bossier's #1 sports station.
A good time is in the air. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. He's Rogers Hampton. I'm Patrick Netherton. Pleased to have you with us. I'll be off to Memphis tomorrow doing the show, hopefully from Memphis, where I think we got it all worked out, where I can do the show from Memphis. Be looking forward to that. Jerry DiNardo will join the show tomorrow as well at 4 o'clock. Rogers is hollering at Peter Burns as we speak. Get him lined up and on in just a moment. Very pleased. Always love chatting with my man Peter. He is good peeps, as they say. The kids say that, right? Don't the kids still say that? Sounds about right. I think the kids say that. But we're looking forward to it. Get a little SEC preview from a guy from the SEC network. Definitely looking forward to that. And you know, just we continue to bring you various conference previews. Yesterday it was Wes Durham from the newly formed ACC network. Tomorrow it'll be Jerry DiNardo from the Big Ten Network. Again, we don't have shows on Thursday and Friday. So today we figured why not the conference where it just means more, the SEC. We welcome in one of their hosts on the SEC Network, Peter Burns. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? It does just mean more.
It does.
It's nice. We already got one dub in the books for the conference, and my goodness, it was ugly. But yeah, now we finally get some football, and Thursday night we get A&M, and then the rest of the slate coming up on Saturday.
You know, I had Wes Durham on yesterday from the fledgling ACC network. You know, y'all were a baby at one point. Y'all were tiny, and I asked him if he was going to they were going to try to assert their dominance. Maybe he and Packer take on you and Dari in like an arm wrestling contest or something. Like, are you concerned that they might try to come in and assert their dominance over the behemoth that is the SEC network?
Let's just say I'm not worried. We'll put it that way. And listen, they're teammates to a certain extent. You know, we're partnered up over at ESPN, so I'm pulling for them. But you know, when I saw the day after the day after the Florida-Miami game, like on Monday, and I saw that they were talking like Wake Forest basketball, I'm like, yeah, I think SEC fans know when it comes to college football, we'll still be number one. So, but then again, man, listen, everybody, including Alabama and Georgia, they're chasing Clemson right now, so they at least have that bragging right. And everybody's trying to catch them, and that's a good thing, you know, keeping everybody on their toes.
And that's what's interesting to me because, you know, you look at it in football, the SEC certainly has a much more rabid following in football. And the ACC, you know, is trying to play catch up, and obviously that we all know that. But then come basketball season, the ACC's got it in spades. The SEC is playing catch up. But then come baseball season, softball season, the SEC's back on top. You know, they've got, you know, every team is in the top 25 at some point, it seems like. To me, it's interesting how the networks are going to be able to showcase their various strengths throughout the course of the year and how the ACC kind of fills in a gap in terms of that college basketball.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing, too, that I've seen kind of even change with the way basketball has been played in this conference. I mean, if you look at the collection of coaches outside the ACC right now, you know, with Tom Crean going to Georgia, you know, and you got Oates now at Alabama, and you got Bruce Pearl and Rick Barnes and Coach Cal. I mean, I think the SEC basketball product is actually taken a little bit, you know, a step up. And part of that is because, listen, they were sick and tired of having basketball games on the network that were bad. It was bad when it was bad television, and I think now that they looked at it and said, hey, we need to put more of an effort into SEC basketball, and they have. But, you know, I mean, when it comes to this time of year, everybody is all dialed into football, and that's really kind of the lifeblood of the Southeast, right, is college football. So we'll have plenty of time to talk SEC basketball. Let's talk some SEC pigskin right now.
Well, no, and why wouldn't you? It's a heck of a league, and it's certainly not bad to focus on. What did you take from the Florida-Miami game?
That I was hoping that Felipe Franks would have, you know, matured not only as a football player but as a leader and really as a passer as well too. And I don't think I saw any of that. I mean, I saw you know, glimpses of it. You know, the pass to Josh Hammond late in the game in the fourth quarter, that was solid. Made a couple of good throws. But again, even the antics on the sidelines, the antics post game, by punting the ball and taking an Instagram dig at Desmond Howard. It's, you know, I remember Felipe telling me over at Media Days, hey, I'm going to be much more of a, you know, not subdued, but just more of lead by example rather than talking a bunch of trash. And sure enough, the first game, it's like, oh, back to the old Felipe. So, again, that's as bad as Florida, I think, could play a game this entire season, and yet they still had enough talent to win. That tells me how much talent Dan Mullen has on that squad in Gainesville.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is he's always been sort of the QB guru. Seems like every quarterback he touches turns to gold, but Felipe Franks isn't really what we're used to seeing with a Dan Mullen quarterback. He doesn't really have that run option that you think about in Dan Mullen's offenses. Do you think he's just having to make do until he gets what he wants at that position?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I think that he looked at Kyle Trask was on that as that roster, and Emory Jones is intriguing as a talent, but he's not close to where Felipe is. And I think Dan understands that. You know, that Dan doesn't have the next Dak Prescott there. He doesn't have, you know, Alex Smith that he had at Utah or Tim Tebow. He's got Felipe Franks. And, you know, last year, guess what? I mean, Dan won 10 games with going to Felipe, especially down the stretch. So I think that they'll continue to go as far as Felipe will take them. The good news is they have a damn strong defense, and Dan Mullen probably is as good as any coach of grinding out a win when they shouldn't win one. I mean, they shouldn't have beat LSU last year. They did. They shouldn't have beat Mississippi State, and they did. And they probably shouldn't have beat Miami with how many times they kicked themselves in their own toes, yet they did find a way to get that W.
Talking to Peter Burns from the SEC Network. So we all know Alabama. Alabama is the team. Are we really supposed to believe this year that someone's going to usurp them? That, you know, Georgia's either going to beat them in the championship game, or LSU is going to find a way? Maybe A&M, someone on the West is going to find a way to take them down, or is it you know, mad Alabama comes out and just, you know, does what they have been doing and just besieges the SEC?
Yeah, I would think it's the latter, exactly what you said there. And the fact, if you just look at that roster, I mean, they hardly lost anybody on that offensive side. And when you bring Tua and listen, you have the Biletnikoff Award winner. Now, the Biletnikoff Award, if you don't know, goes to the best wide receiver in all of college football, right? If your listeners didn't know that, that's who it is. That guy's not even listed as the A1 starter. It's an and/or. You know, it's like Judy, Waddle, Ruggs, Devontae Smith. I mean, it's unbelievable the weapons that they have at that position. I think the difference is this year they're dialed in. I think last year they got complacent because it got so easy for them and they were doing so well that everybody kind of started looking at, all right, it's like playing a video game in which it's not hard anymore, right? We've already put the contra code in.
It's on the rookie. It's on the rookie level.
Right, yeah. And all of a sudden they went up straight up to Heisman mode against the Clemson team and smacked them in the mouth. And I think, I came away from media days impressed with Tua about, he had all the right in the world to be as cocky as he wanted to going into media days. And it was just like, I genuinely believed him when he said, listen, like, I've got to get a lot better, and I let the team down. And I'm like, dude, you almost had the Heisman won, like, as a sophomore. Like, what are we talking about? But I think that's the level of concern that Nick brought to this Alabama team in the offseason. And they're as talented as anybody. I mean, the problem is now is, everybody comes for him, and now Georgia is equally as talented on a roster-wise, and probably have a better offensive line, and just as good maybe of a quarterback as Alabama has.
Are we sure about that? I mean, I like Fromm a lot, but are we sure he's Tua?
I love Fromm. I love Fromm for the leadership standpoint. And not that Tua's not a leader. I think Tua, the throws he makes, how quick his release is great. But there's just something about when I go to practice, and I've been to Alabama practices, and I watch Tua, and it's great. Like, there's something, and magical is such a stupid word to use, but it felt that way the first time I saw him practice down in Athens. Like, I remember going down there because I wanted to see Jacob Eason, and I went down and I asked Jim Chaney, and I'm like, who's this kid that's running the team right now, the second team? He goes, that's Jake Fromm. That kid may be my starter by the end of the season. And sure enough, look at what Fromm did. That was as a true freshman. And so there's certain guys that just have, like, the whole team gravitate towards him. That's what he has in Jake Fromm. And, Patrick, I'm telling you, this offensive line, I hear it from Stinchcomb, I hear it from Cole Kubelik, who loves his offensive line play. Mm-hmm. They say that this is arguably an NFL offensive line playing in college football. And, by the way, they don't just go 5 deep. They go about 7 or 8 deep on that O-line for Georgia. That's music to any Bulldog fan ear.
Yeah, it's what you want. Talking to Peter Burns from the SEC Network. All right, Peter. So, who besides Georgia in the East? Is there another team out there? And obviously, everyone in Louisiana knows who I'm kind of angling toward. But is there another team? Let's throw out LSU right now because I think everyone here thinks they'll win the thing anyway. Is there another team that you look at and say, okay, that's a squad that could jump up and bite somebody and maybe be a spoiler?
Yeah, I think it's more of a spoiler as opposed to coming in and winning the West. The only team I have that can win the West outside of Alabama is LSU. It is Alabama in its own tier, along with Georgia, and then that second tier in the SEC is LSU and LSU alone. I put Florida in this third tier. I put A&M in this third tier. I put Missouri in that third tier, but LSU is the only team that can do it. Now, Auburn is intriguing because Auburn's a team that could, have 3 losses and go in the Iron Bowl and knock them off, right? Remember that game's in Jordan-Hare this year, and they're going to be talented, especially as Bo Nix gets a little bit better. And so for me, I think that's really the situation brewing forward is that A&M and Auburn can both play spoilers. They can both play spoilers, but LSU is the only team that could actually win the West.
Is everyone? And we do. I think we do this every year. Is everyone sleeping on Missouri? They did win. They did win the East
I said it
twice.
on our show locally on SiriusXM. I think Missouri ends up being undefeated before they go into Athens in early November. I think that they're a team that's just this whole bowl ban has kind of brought them together in a weird way. I love the fact that they're going to Laramie, Wyoming for the opener because I think that's just kind of a cool road trip to get the guys all on the same page, and they shouldn't have a problem with Wyoming. But you look at their schedule right now, they should be undefeated, or I know they'll at least be favored in every single game until they go to Athens on like November the 2nd or November the 3rd. So, again, it reminds me of what Kentucky, Patrick, had to deal with last year where they had a chance to flip it when Georgia came into town, but Georgia was just too dang good.
Peter Burns from the SEC Network joining us. Maybe a surprise player or two, Peter, guys that, either someone who's going to take that next step or someone that's going to come completely from out of nowhere and everyone's going to learn who they are.
Yeah, a couple guys, and I'm going to go LSU guys because LSU's on my mind, and I think the tight end position between Thaddeus Moss and Stephon Sullivan. I think Joe Brady, brought a little bit of the concepts that they use from the Saints. I mean, we've heard that over and often, often, but
sure.
A lot of it was talking about, hey, what they are able to do with Jimmy Graham in his heyday. And, Stephon's a 6'4" guy. Thaddeus is a big guy as well, too. They've been getting a lot of reps. And I'm really curious to see what John Emery can do. Remember, He was a highly touted running back that was a true freshman. He was not in spring camp. Although, and it's weird, right? Whenever we hear highly touted guys, we almost always think they're going to graduate high school early.
Yeah.
He actually graduated on time. But I know talking to people around LSU, they think that if he can pick up some of the pass protection stuff, the thing to keep Burrow, chip blocking and protection a little bit, they think that he could be the next great running back down in the 225.
Yeah, and I've from some of my people, I've heard he's even better than they thought he would be, and that's saying something.
And Derek Stingley as well too. I mean,
the corner,
it's amazing about every time we talk about with Grant Delpit, we were asking him, hey man, how good of a player you are, and how good is this defense? Every single time Delpit was asked a question about Grant Delpit, he answered was almost to the fact of, I wish I was as good as Derek Stingley. And you have like an All-American talking about a true freshman cornerback like that. That should excite LSU fans coming into Saturday night.
Well, there's no doubt which school DBU is. I mean, there's zero doubt about that. Hey,
well, especially as bad as Florida's secondary looked late in that game where they almost single-handedly tried to get it. I mean, DBU is always going to be LSU. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. I'm curious about the transfer portal because you mentioned Jacob Eason, and now he's been named the starter at Washington, and Kelly Bryant left Clemson, and he's the starter at Mizzou, and Justin Fields left, and now you're seeing where these transfers are coming in and being named starters, and the native guys, the guys that the schools are recruiting, are now putting themselves in the transfer portal. Have we kind of opened up a can of worms with this thing, or are you a free agency for the players, just let them go wherever they want to go?
Yeah, I mean, think about, Tommy Stevens going from Penn State, and he's a graduate guy, but going from Penn State to Mississippi State. Now Keaton Thompson was scheduled to take that job. He puts his name in the transfer portal. So now Moorhead has to basically re-recruit a quarterback that was there. I mean, again, I'm going to go sports radio faux pas here and completely be a horrible guess when I say it's too early to tell. And, anybody who says the transfer portal is ruining college football, they haven't looked at the idea of, hey, sometimes a kid needs a new spot, right? Like he just needs a fresh start. And somebody who says, oh, it's no problem whatsoever, doesn't understand how many kids have put their name in the transfer portal and are not going to get scholarships because they're all spoken for. So I really do think the transfer portal, like any of these rules and the targeting rule or anything the NCAA does, it takes about 4 years for us to take a step back and go, okay, this is the pros and this is the cons. Overall, I don't like it. I lean towards that way because I'm afraid we're going to have college coaches, as soon as they get an opportunity to go to the NFL now, are going to say, you know what, that's a lot easier. It's not 365. I don't have to re-recruit my players.
Right.
I can have an off season. And I think that's why so many people are looking at what, Cliff Kingsbury does at Arizona right now to see if that works. Well, then, hey, Lincoln Riley's next, and what other coaches go next?
When are we golfing, man?
Well, hey, you tell me. I better get it in now.
Yeah.
You can hear my daughter in the background.
Yeah.
Her birthday, her 2-year-old birthday is her second birthday is coming up on Halloween, and I got baby boy number 1 due on Halloween. So it better be in the next 6 to 8 weeks, because if not, the clubs are going to be getting some cobwebs in front.
Yeah. Well, it's about to get look. As they always say, once you get outnumbered, you're in trouble. So far, you're still good. You can still play man-to-man. But once you get outnumbered and have to go zone, you're in trouble.
I've told my wife, if we have a third kid, I can't wait to meet the guy that she has it with, because there's no way I'm having more than 2. And I love my baby girl, and I'm sure I will love my boy, but I'm not going to be like Jacob Hester. I'm not going to have a minivan full of 19 kids rolling around.
Yeah, poor. I feel bad for the Hesters, man. They're on that Phillip Rivers train. He went out there and met Phillip, and all of a sudden he's got 11 kids. So, we love our boy that precedes us here on Hanging with Hester. Peter, all right, so just kind of final thing. It's Alabama And Georgia, are we predicting anything weird after that? Is it just going to be Alabama, Georgia?
I'm a diehard LSU fan, and I'd love to say it's different. I'm saying that Alabama still ends up being the West, but that doesn't preclude LSU from a playoff. I think LSU goes 11-1. They run the table outside losing to Alabama, and that could be good enough to get them into the college football playoff, just like Alabama was in 2017 when they won it.
Funny thing is, I also predicted LSU to go 11-1, but I predicted them to beat Bama and lose to A&M in the final game of the regular season.
Oh, Lord. If that happened, it would be shades of 2007 when they lost to Arkansas, and they thought they were out of the BCS on that triple overtime game. So,
all I know is, man, it's here, and I know we're all just as happy as can be that it's here. And, man, I appreciate you coming on. We'll get you on as the season progresses.
Anytime. Love talking football with you. Later, Patrick.
All right, Peter Burns, SEC Network. Good stuff. Let's take a break. It's Roger's favorite time. That's right. It's 4:20. It's the Patrick Netherton Show. Raj, I got a kind of nasty message in the while that interview was going on. We'll talk about that. Somebody taking me to task. They're mad at me. Let's talk about that next on the Patrick Netherton Show.
This is Sarah's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
Driving cross country with 2 young children is ambitious, to say the least. Then our check engine light came on. We pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts and they tested it. Turned out it was a faulty sensor. They referred us to a great mechanic just down the street and we were back on the road in no time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Do you hear that Coors Light being poured? It's the perfect temperature. How can I tell just based on the sound? I can't. But I can see that the mountain on the can is blue. And when the mountain is blue, your Coors Light is perfectly cold. Coors Light is cold lagered for a crisper taste, cold filtered for brightness and clarity, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. Doesn't that sound good? 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Donnie, you have handed the keys over to Nate Dizzle. How's he doing?
He's doing, I'll be honest with you, I haven't really checked in.
Is now the time to maybe ask him since he's right there with you?
Yeah, he's here. Hey, Nate, is everything going okay?
Yeah, as far as I know it is. Going great.
To me, this is how big businesses run. The owner stops by, asks the general manager how things are going, and he says, okay, so you can go back to fishing and hunting right now, Donnie.
This is what I call crony capitalism, and I am liking it.
Brewer Quality Homes, 3830 East Texas.
Don't put your life on the line when you dig. Do what the pros do. Respect the marks. Dig with care. And before you dig, call 811. Louisiana One Call.
At Westin Hotels and Resorts, our entire reason for being is your well-being, which is why our wellness offerings are curated with one thing in mind: you. An Eat Well menu crafted with fresh ingredients, an on-demand fitness gear lending program that allows you to pack light and stay fit, and our heavenly bed that helps you conquer the day by giving you a restful night. All of it just for you, so you can rise. Explore at Westin.com, a member of Marriott Bonvoy.
In Louisiana, there are thousands of miles of utility lines and gas pipelines buried just beneath the surface. Sometimes multiple lines are in one area. So if your contractor you hire is digging a hole to put in a new fence, a pool, or any other reason, you run the risk of hitting an underground line even by digging only a few inches. What happens then? Maybe you only knock out power for your entire neighborhood. But sometimes there's an explosion with injuries and even death. It happens every year. And there's a very simple way to avoid it. Before you dig, call 811. Call 811 2 days before you dig. Tell the operator your address and someone will come out and mark the location of buried lines so you or your contractor can avoid them. Simple, right? It's free of charge and it's the law. Louisiana One Call operates 811 as a public service and to promote public safety. Louisiana One Call on this station reminds you call 811 and know it's below before you dig.
Football fans, Friday and Saturday, September 13th and 14th. See some of the top high school football programs in the nation and the South at the 2019 Landers Dodge Battle on the Border High School Football Showcase. Visit battleontheborder.com for tickets.
Edge Concrete Cutting. We cut floors, ceilings, walls, slabs, bridges, and more. Edge can handle your flat sawing, electrical slab sawing, core drilling, early entry sawing, concrete demo, and removal. Edge has the experience, personnel, and equipment to handle any job, ranging from large construction projects to small concrete cuts or coring jobs. Call Edge Concrete Cutting at 925-3745. That's Edge Concrete Cutting at 925-DRILL.
11:30 The Tiger, your home for LSU sports, powered by Jack Spring Electric.
Tiger weather now.
Well, we hit 98 yesterday. It's not going to be as hot today with a mix of clouds and sunshine and a pop-up shower. 95 today. Scattered thunderstorms tonight, low 75. More showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, cooler 86. And a mix of clouds and sunshine Thursday. Thursday's high 91. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
KWKH, Shreveport, Bossier City. 11:30 The Tiger, Shreveport and Bossier's #1 sports station.
This is kind of close on the country scale, but it's still a great song. So, but it is right there. Like this is one of those. Oh, you mean who was it that had the "You Look Good in Blue" or "Blue Doesn't Look Good on You"? Kenny Chesney, was it Kenny Chesney? That kind of hit the pop charts like last year, I think. So it kind of gets that on that same realm. Brandon and the Queen of Hearts. No one in it really smart. Joker is the only fool. Welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 11:30 The Tiger. Raj, I got a little. I don't want to say it's hate mail, but it's. Man, I think somebody got after me. I got a message on the Patrick Netherton Show Facebook page while my interview was going on with Peter Burns. Again, thanks to Peter for joining us. Love that dude, SEC Network. Raj, number one, apparently he was mad that I didn't know that China Grove was the sleepy little town around San Antonio. I didn't know China Grove was an actual town, okay? So my apologies for not knowing an 1,100 population town somewhere in southwest Texas. Raj, this is from Bobby. Bobby sent a message on Facebook. Says, the sleepy little town down around San Antonio is China Grove, which is mentioned numerous times and is also the name of the song. Yes, I'm aware of what the name of the song is. Did not know it was actually a town. Now, Raj, here's the kicker paragraph. You ready for this? Your show has never been my favorite. Just something to listen to while driving. After you little Jonestown diatribe today, I will never listen to it again. Well, Raj, we lost Bobby. Do we have any funereal music that we can play for Bobby? Now, what I want to know is this, Raj. This is what I really need to know. Did I lose him? Was it because I made fun of Jerry Jones calling calling that Jonestown?
This song is called "Funeral for a Friend." It's the closest we got.
Oh, okay.
Elton John.
Oh boy. Yeah, this
and
definitely.
It's instrumental. This whole front thing, and it gets kind of ominous here in just a minute.
Okay.
It takes a while before he even sings. We'll have to pot it.
No.
But "Funeral for a Friend" is the closest.
Okay,
thing.
well,
So
that's no worries.
Bobby was our friend.
Yeah,
now he's not.
Well, apparently he never was, Raj.
Yeah.
My show's never been one of his favorites.
And of course, your show is the only one on terrestrial radio between 3 and 5. There's nothing else to turn to
nothing
or
else to
go
listen to. Yeah. Or get satellite if you want.
There we go.
Playing some organ. What I really want to know, though, from Bobby is what made him mad about the Jonestown bit. Was it that I referred to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, I guess AT&T Stadium, as Jonestown, and that's where everyone who thinks they're going to win the Super Bowl has drank the punch, and their Super Bowl dreams are dead? Is it the fact that I did the terrible "the punchline's too long" joke? Is it too soon, Raj? Is it too soon? Too soon for the Jones? When did that happen, Raj? Is that the 60s or 70s? You hear too soon all the time. Let me look and see when the Jonestown massacre was. Like someone said, what was in the Kool-Aid? Someone asked what was in the Kool-Aid at Jonestown. They drunk a flavored drink mix with Valium, chloral hydrate, cyanide, and Finnegan. They said it was not actually Kool-Aid. It was Flavor Aid. Yeah. They couldn't even use the right brand. They had to buy for like 900 people, right? 918. It was 78 when it happened, Raj. The People's Temple Agricultural Project, also known as Jonestown, in northwestern Guyana. 918 people drank the Flavor Aid, I guess. So I don't know what Bobby was mad about, Raj. I don't know if it was just too soon to make a Jonestown joke from 78 when I was 1 year old, or if he didn't like the fact that I was besmirching the reputation of the Dallas Cowboys. Either way, Bobby, I'm sorry my show was never one of your favorites. I apologize that you didn't enjoy my Jonestown jokes. Sorry if it was either too soon or besmirching your beloved Dallas Cowboys. I don't know which one. But, hey, you have a lot of choices, my friend. You have a lot of choices on what you can listen to. There's other sports talk radio in this. If you want to hear all about fantasy football, I think it's going on right now. Have at it. Or if you want to listen to, hey, Raj, just go over to KVKI, baby. Just listen to a little soft rock. You know?
If that don't chill you out and mellow you out.
You know you're going to get some Chicago on there.
Yeah.
You're just going to be cool, baby. Some Celine Dion.
Yeah.
I mean, why? How
but
are you
if you
going to be
need
mad?
to pick me up, then you go over to K94.5 and
right.
you listen to our man Jay Watley.
Hey, everybody.
He's got news, traffic, and weather and all the latest hip-hop beats
Let me tell you about Bruno Mars. I don't think Bruno Mars is a thing anymore, but that tells you how long it's been.
Oh, wait. Michelle.
Yeah. Yeah. Watch my hips. Watch my hips.
Have a great song, sir.
Anyway, Bobby, and you know what? Here's my question, Rod. Should I send him a note on Facebook and just wish him well, or should I just leave it as it is? That's always my quandary when someone sends me a negative comment, because a lot of times when people send me negative comments on Twitter, I'll engage them and ultimately kind of turn them around. But I don't know. So I'm interested in the audience's thoughts. Should I respond to Bobby? I mean, I've given him some airtime, obviously. But I just wonder if I should actually send him a little note. He might, because he's probably not listening now, Raj. He said he's never listening to me again.
And you've really wasted a lot of time then on this subject if he's not listening.
Good. That just means we're closer to 501, my friend.
Oh, you
just
have no
closer
idea.
to 501. Oh,
how heavy my legs are right now.
I'm not sure why Jeff keeps calling me on the the text line, but stop calling me, Jeff.
That's for texting.
Yeah, it's for texting, Jeff.
We can't answer it. It's a text-only phone.
That's right. Well, it's actually not even a phone. It's just a Google Voice number.
Yes.
Jeff, by the way, before he called me 4 times, said magical is a seriously stupid term. UGA is overrated. That's what when Peter Burns was saying that. And he said Bama, LSU, and that's it. At least in the West, I think, yes. I think Georgia obviously will probably win the East. I think they likely will be the guy. And then Jeff said, oops, because he called me 5 times. That's right, Jeff. You dang right. Stop butt dialing me. T-Gage says, Bobby sounds like a snowflake altogether now. Bye, Bobby. High Rail said he got his panties in a wad. 318 number said, no, don't respond. Move on. Don't let this guy get to you. He didn't get to me. Trust me, in this business, Rogers, as you and I both know, if you don't have a thick skin, you'll never last in this business.
Oh, woo.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I had a guy when I was on the Brando show. I had a guy tweet me and tell me I just called me a fat ass. And I'm like, hey, you should have seen me 7 years ago when I was 90 pounds heavier. Then I really was. Jeff says, what's your call in? 318-320-1130, Jeff. 318-320. I don't give the phone number enough. I give the text line a good bit, but I don't give the phone number enough. 318-320-1130. So I guess Jeff's about to call in, Raj. 318-320-1130. Adam says, is Bobby just Bonsai Ben? Does Bonsai Ben look like the guy on a Just for Men box? Well, I don't know the answer to either of those questions, to be honest with you. I don't know the guy on a Just for Men box. So I don't know if Bonsai looks like him. Also, I don't think Bobby is just Bonsai Ben, because that would require him to have a Facebook page and a phone to be able to use that. 318 says, wail away on Bobby. What else you got to talk about? You know, we're kind of closing in on football. Tomorrow is going to be tomorrow we're going to give our picks. It's going to be Patrick's picks and Hambone's hints. We're gonna do our pick segment tomorrow and get you started with 5, 6, 7, 8 games that I think maybe look good in week 1. We'll talk about that. And we got Jeff. We got tomorrow. We've got Jerry DiNardo is what I meant to say. Jerry DiNardo joining us at 4 o'clock. Is that Jeff, Raj?
Bobby.
Oh, Bobby. Well, it's someone else. Jeff asked for the call-in number, and then Bobby called in. Unless this is Jeff and it's Bobby.
Yeah, let's find out.
It's all right. Let's go to the phone lines. 320-1130. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, this is Jeff. Man, I think Georgia's way overrated.
Really?
I don't get it.
I mean, they do have a great quarterback. They got a great running game. They've got a fantastic offensive line. They're as talented as anybody in the league. I get it, but because here's the thing. Jeff, they haven't won the big game yet, and that's what I always keep coming back to, is I never bet on Georgia in a big game.
Okay, well, then I should hang up, because you just made my point.
Well, no, I'm agreeing with you in some
Georgia they don't win the big game.
Yeah, I mean,
they've
at least
not won the big game in decades.
Yeah, at least they haven't in any time recently. But they are talented. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. They've got a roster loaded with talent. Kirby's done a great job of bringing in and marshaling talent in Athens. They just haven't yet been able to pull off that we won the SEC, we beat Alabama, we found a way to the playoff. Until they do that, I will always remain skeptical of Georgia.
I think it's either going to be LSU or Alabama. I've thought that for
to win the SEC.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll go further to win the national title.
Well, that's quite a step. I think Alabama has a much better chance than LSU, but I think LSU is the only team with.
If LSU beats Alabama, what do you say?
No, I predicted LSU to go 11-1 this year, and I predict them to beat Bama.
Do you predict them to beat Alabama in the rematch?
I actually predict them to beat Alabama, lose to Texas A&M in the last game of the season, and at that point, I wasn't entirely sure how everything would play out. They likely would go to the SEC championship game because they would be tied. Assuming Alabama only lost to LSU, they would be tied, and I'm assuming the tie break would favor LSU. They would go.
If LSU doesn't play in the Final Four in your scenario, someone's going to die.
Well, yeah. Look, if LSU beats Alabama this year, but trips up against Ole Miss or Arkansas or Auburn or something, that's going to be an interesting scenario for the fans because you finally got over the unclimbable hill of Alabama, but then you turned around and didn't actually make it to the title game or didn't make it to the Final Four. That's going to be a real interesting offseason for those Tiger fans. There's no doubt.
And I agree. I think LSU's going to go 10-2. I think they're going to lose to Alabama, which sucks. But I think they're going to lose somewhere else. Who knows where? And they're going to finish 10-2.
Well, they're obviously going to lose in Week 3 to Northwestern State, Jeff. That's what we all know here. They're definitely losing to the Demons. They're definitely losing to the Demons. Put all your money, put your house on the Demons in Week 3. That's definitely going down. Demons are going to win that game. It's going to be pandemonium.
Sure.
Yeah. You believe me, right?
No, I don't.
No, I don't believe me either, Jeff. Thanks for the call, man.
I think LSU's going to go 10-2.
Okay.
I think they're going to do really well. And I think they're going to lose to Alabama and then somebody else. And who knows what happens.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out. Appreciate the call, brother. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, brother.
All right. Don't call me on the text line. Just call me on the caller line, 320-1130. Text on the text line, 657-0426.
I had him so confused. Since we knew he was calling.
Yeah.
I answered, good afternoon, City Morgue.
Yeah, there you go. You stab him, we slab him.
It was just silent. He goes, what?
Yeah.
I said, hey, buddy, what's going on, man?
I love a good
we love new
joke.
callers. Yes, please.
Oh, no,
please,
I'm sorry. I was saying I love a good mortuary joke, not I love new callers.
No, that's
those
true.
guys I don't care about.
City Morgue. Wait, it was
That's
just,
right.
What?
You stab him. You
got it, baby.
We slab him. Gotta love it.
That was fun.
Actually, Raj, when we were in Jefferson, I forgot to tell this story.
God.
Raj and I were at Jefferson with Little Bit and Roger's old ball and chain, and we're eating barbecue, and a truck rolls by with a coffin in the back of the bed, but it was a black truck, and it had like red paint. I couldn't tell it was a mortuary service. I think it was called like Stab and Slab or something. It was real strange, and we couldn't tell if it was a joke or if it was an actual, like, some sort of a funeral service or whatever. Jefferson's considered one of the most haunted towns in East Texas. Like, maybe they were playing on that. I don't know. But it was quite interesting, to say the least. That was pretty hilarious. And that guy was rolling by, and there was literally a coffin. It looked like it was attached to the truck.
It does.
Too.
It
like
did.
It was welded to the truck.
Welded into the back end of the bed of the truck, and it was an old-timey truck, too.
Yeah.
Like a 50s truck.
Yeah.
60s truck, not anything new.
No.
And it was painted kind of faded black, and the writing on the side was in red, but it was like blood red where it was dripping
like a haunted
down.
house.
Yeah, and it was like you stab them, we slab them, something, funeral home and mortuary.
Yeah.
And then as they drove off, there was a black casket in the back of that pickup truck.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
It was wild.
It was pretty hysterical.
It was.
I laughed.
No, we all got a kick of that.
Yeah, so I do agree. I think LSU really is the only team that can really battle Alabama for supremacy. The interesting thing is, if LSU loses to Alabama, I think Alabama still has the opportunity to lose on their schedule. Obviously, the SEC West is not great, but we all know the Iron Bowl is anything can happen in the Iron Bowl. Nick Saban can successfully lobby for an extra second to be put on the clock to try a billion-yard field goal only to have it returned for a touchdown. Anything can happen in the Iron Bowl. So that could definitely be a loss. And by that point, the freshman QB for Auburn ought to be seasoned. So there you go. There you go, Vince Dooley.
Roll down Tide.
Oh, no, come on. Come on, Harvey Updike. Well, Harvey Updike, he hadn't paid his fines for...
Roll down Tide.
Yeah, that guy hasn't... Yeah, he hasn't paid much of anything. He's kind of got that OJ going, where he's not paying any of his fines. Hope OJ's not listening. Love you, OJ. I live in Blanchard. I'm trying to think of the farthest place away from where I actually live and still be in kind of, in the city. I live in Dallas, OJ. I commute over here every day for the show. Don't come after me, please. And please don't stab Andrew Luck. I know. Please don't kill Andrew Luck, OJ. That's all we ask. But, yeah, I think when it all comes down to it, I think it's going to be LSU is the only team that can really challenge. And that's going to be interesting. That's why week one, to me, Rogers, the Saturday night game in Death Valley is going to be really fascinating. Because I don't know how much LSU is going to show of their offense. They don't let the press in. It's not an open practice when they're doing their team drills, pass scale, all that stuff. It's not when they're going good on good and they're going, 7-on-7. None of that stuff is open to the public. The media is not there, so they don't really get to see it. Now, we hear it because, guys like Chris Blair, Jake Hester. Still cannot call him Jake Hester. Those guys get to go and they see that practice. They see that time period when the media is not allowed in there, and they say to a man, hey, this is a different offense. This is going to be a little more open, a little more tempo. Ed Orgeron said in his presser, Rogers' first in-season presser on Monday, or I guess that's yesterday. It feels like a Thursday or something to me. Anyway, he said in his presser yesterday that they're not huddling anymore, and that basically when they say, hey, huddle up, they don't know what to do. Like, they're not used to huddling because most of these kids don't huddle in high school. And so most of these kids, gone are the days when the center runs, 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage and holds his hand up, and everyone comes and forms a circle around him, and the quarterback comes in. That's why it's always funny to me to watch the Saints, because the Saints are one of the most efficient offensive teams, but they're also incredibly slow. Like, when you watch a Saints game on offense, it's amazing how slow they are. And Raj, I say it every year, and I guarantee I'm going to say it at some point this year. I really wish they would go a little more tempo at times, because you got one of the best quarterbacks in the game, in the history of the game, who can direct things on the field. He's basically an extension of the coach. Why not do and they call it 2-minute drill, whereas for everyone else in college football, it's just their normal offense, their regular tempo. Why not do a little tempo stuff? Why not get out there and just go? I would like to see that. Also, the NFL Films yearbook from the Saints this past year was on. Raj, it was short. It was like 30 minutes, so it wasn't like they had a lot of time, and they talked all about how great it was. Then they got to the playoffs. It was like, all right, they survived the Eagles after getting down 14-0, and then they got to the NFC Championship game, and this was literally the NFC Championship game, Raj. The narrator guy goes, and the Saints were robbed in the NFC Championship of a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And they literally show the hit that was not flagged, and then they show everyone's reaction to the hit that was not flagged, and they're playing Streif on the radio broadcast. I can't believe it's the worst non-call I've ever seen in my entire NFL career, which, pretty lengthy. And then literally it's like, but that will fuel the 2019 season. I'm like, well, they didn't spend a lot of time on it. That's for sure. A couple of texts real quick, then we'll hit a break. Jeff said Georgia Southern is legit. Better come ready. They won 10 games last year. He said they win 10 games a year. Actually, Jeff, if you will have noted, we had Georgia Southern head coach Chad Lunsford on the Patrick Netherton Show a few weeks back, and he was telling us all about it. They run a triple option out of the shotgun. They run sort of a pistol, some spread, but they run the triple out of that. They don't throw it much. They're a run team, but hey, an option team, when they throw it for big yardage. They're not throwing a 5-yard check down. They're throwing it past a safety who's running up in run support for a touchdown. Passing game against triple option offenses is one of the most dangerous things you'll ever see. And if your backfield is not, your defensive secondary doesn't have their eyes in the right location, they're biting on a fake inside, they're coming running up trying to make the tackle, that running back is releasing right past him and heading right down the seam for a touchdown. Do I think Georgia Southern will challenge LSU? Maybe a little bit early. I don't think it'll ultimately be much of a game. I'm really curious about how much LSU will show of whatever their revamped offense happens to be. 318 says, LSU is my team, but it seems they're still copying Bama. They opened their offense 2 years ago. Hey, at least they're doing it. At least they're opening their offense. And Jeff says they're Navy on steroids. No, because they don't run out of the same set. It's not that double flex stuff that you're used to seeing the running backs on either side of the tackles. This is all out of spread formation stuff. They're not running that flex bone stuff. They're running it out of a different formation. It's still the triple option, but it's out of shotgun, it's out of pistol, it's out of spread formations. They'll use the receivers as pitchbacks instead of using 3 running backs. They'll use 1 running back, and they'll have a receiver arc motion for the pitch. So it's a little different dressing than you're used to seeing with Navy and, when Georgia Tech had Paul Johnson, that kind of thing. All right, I know Raj is hankering for a break. I can see him staring at his button, getting ready to hit it. So let's take it. Ah, yes. Sleepy little town down around San Antone, Raj. Apparently it was China Grove.
You are my love.
Yes, Jeff, same look but different formations. They run the same stuff. They just do it out of a different window dressing, out of the spread. It's Patrick Netherton Show. Back to wrap it up. 11:30 The Tiger.
Simple and free.
Welcome to Walk-On's Bistro and Bar, where every dish starts from scratch. Fresh ingredients bring our food to life. Mouth-watering cuisine, unique flavors, and we're always more than happy to share our Southern charm and culture. A love of life, family, food, friends, fun, sports, and celebrations. Walk-Ons. It's game day with the taste of Louisiana.
Rogers, your pops was Mr. Shreveport, right?
Yes, he was. First ever.
Big muscle-bound guy.
Yes, he was.
You like muscles?
I do.
I like my cars with muscle.
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Landers, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram. They basically are the Mr. Shreveport Bossier of muscle cars.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, because they flex the Challenger